OpenAI just released Sora, and it is the most impressive text prompt to video AI model out there. Hi, my name is Martin. I'm a photographer, designer and content creator from Sweden. And like a lot of you, I saw the release of Sora, and it's hard to not be impressed. And at the same time a little bit scared and start to question a lot of things. So I haven't watched any other videos or thoughts on this. So this is just going to be my own thoughts, my own first thoughts of this topic as of right now. So is Sora and other AI models going to be the death of videography? Well, I think the answer is quite complicated, but yes, I actually think so. But in a way, also no. So let me explain. So yes, because I think it is going to replace a lot of videography, and I don't really think there's any point in denying that. For example, stock photo and videography is probably super dead. And for businesses, it's going to be so much easier to just generate a video for them, and for online marketing, it's the same. It's going to be so much more convenient to just type in what you want and get it straight away. I mean, in just a few years, you're probably going to be able to go onto Netflix, type in what you want to see, and it is going to generate a whole new movie just for you. I mean, just think about that for a second. Of course, there are going to be problems and questions about copyright and so on, but my take on that is just think about the fact that it is going to be possible to just type in what you want to see, and then you have a video generated in a few seconds. That is just so much cheaper and so much more convenient that these so-called problems are definitely going to be solved, because the end product, or like the vision, is just going to be worth so much more that those small problems are just going to be solved. Feeling depressed yet? Have you sold your camera? I'm working on it. No, but seriously, I really think that there is a big change coming to the industry, and there's not really much we can do about it. All you really can do about it is to accept it and try to adapt. And historically, industries always change. Take just the clothing industry, for example. Before, you had to sew, I don't really know, your own clothes, but then the Industrial Revolution happened and machines started taking those jobs instead. And now you don't need to do the work manually. Instead, you need engineers. So for the last couple of days, I've thought about this topic quite a lot, and why I personally don't really feel that stressed about it. And maybe it's because I don't really do photography and videography full time as a living at the moment, but rather as a hobby and as a side income. But I do understand the stress that people have when they pretty much see their jobs like disappearing in front of their eyes. But when it comes to this photography and videography industry disappearing fully, I don't really think that it's going to happen. And here's why. I think there are so much more depth to photography and videography than just the finished product. And therefore, I think it's going to stay. So take, for example, like the wedding photography and videography business. That is one I think is going to stay, because when you think about it, would you really want to like photograph your face and input that into some kind of software that kind of imagines how your wedding is going to look? Not really. I would rather have a real photographer, videographer at my wedding, filming and capturing the real moments that actually happened during the venue. And that is just one example, and I can think of quite a few. And before we talked about like commercial photography, I think there is still going to be some commercial photography left, because some brands are going to want to work more with a story that captures something really specific about either that company, a person, or something that gives it that personality. So there is something about this industry that I don't think can get replaced. And for myself, for example, I don't do photography and videography only to make money, and not only for the end product. The images mean so much more than just the finished product. So for example, like an image like this one. Like this image here, for example. The end product, maybe not that special. I think it's a really good image. But what it really is more what the image is meaning to me. This is like a core memory for me. And this is something that I'm always going to remember, and having this hang on the wall. So for me, it's like a reminder every day when I see it about the amazing time I had when I shot this image. So photography and videography is just so much more than just the finished product. And you kind of miss that whole aspect of the story and the everything before, during, and everything else that is important with photography when you just generate a finished product. And that's the reason why I think photography and videography is not dead. Because there's so much more to it than just a finished product. Let's see if I can hang it again. This is a struggle. I hope that made sense. Let's take the same example as before with the clothing industry. These days you can mass produce socks, for example, but still people like knitting. They knit socks even though they don't really have to. And why is that? Well, because it's a hobby and that they enjoy doing it. Sort of something similar is going to happen to photography and videography. It is going to stay as a hobby. It's going to stay as something you want to do on your free time, but it might change the commercial side of the industry. But people are still going to want to have home knitted socks because it gives that extra feeling. It is going to be that same premium feeling of something that is handmade. So in conclusion, I really think that photography and videography is going to stay as a hobby for sure. Probably might even grow. Personally started feeling like and seen other people feel like they kind of want things that are a bit slower. We don't want everything to be handed to us. We want to make things with our own hands. We kind of want to slow down, and photography is just one of those hobbies that you can do that will like make you enjoy the moment more. The photography industry is changing and these AI softwares are not going anywhere. You just have to accept it and adapt. So those were just my initial thoughts on this. Probably might and will change in the future. Everything is just happening so quickly right now. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video. And if you subscribe, I would highly recommend you like looking at the number that your subscription number, I guess. Because I'm doing a 1,000 subscriber special and you might want to know what number of subscriber you are. Just leaving that out there. But I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!